Have you ever been rejected by something that you truly wanted? Has the fear of failure stopped you from even starting something? Do you always find yourself comparing yourself to others and feel like you're not doing enough? And have you ever had that one goal that you truly wanted to reach but you never did? You clicked on this video, of course, to talk about these things, so let's get into it. My name is Cameronfonteneaux. In today's video, we're going to be talking about rejection and failure and how these obstacles aren't the end of your journey, but the beginning. So like usual, I'm always going to have some notes and stuff. So in case you be seeing me looking around, I got my computer and my notepad here. But for the first thing that I want to talk about is that failure is a part of the growth, that we can never fully grow unless we go through some trials, some tribulation, or some type of obstacle, right? Even think about like a plant, for example. Plants, you have to feed them, they have to get sunlight, but sometimes there might be bugs, there might be a storm, it might be too cold, it might be dark. You have to continue to grow and move past your obstacles no matter what. And so, for some examples that I want to pull up, I have on my computer. I just want to talk about like some successful people who have even moved past some hard issues. And one person was Thomas Edison, and they said that he failed thousands of experiments before even inventing the light bulb. And so you sit here and think about it. If no one sat there and went through this trial and went through this issue, yeah, we wouldn't have no lights. Then another person was J.K. Rowling, and they said that she received 12 rejections before her first Harry Potter book was published. And if y'all know Harry Potter, y'all know Harry Potter is very popular. And to think if she never even wrote those books, she never even would have had those movies, and those movies represent her. Then it said someone like Walt Disney was fired from Kansas City Star for lacking imagination, but he also failed. He also had failed a production company, and we all watch Disney Channel, right? Everybody goes to Disneyland. Everybody goes to Orlando Studios. To think if he never pushed through his trial, he would have never did this. And I want to bring up last was Oprah Winfrey. And they said that she was fired from her first television job for getting too emotionally invested in her stories. Meanwhile, she was one of the first like black woman billionaires. They said that the Oprah Winfrey Show has won so many awards. It had 25 seasons. She was able to, be a producer of her TV show, other shows, films. She's won Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, Golden Globe Awards, some NAACP awards, and like I said, first black billionaire. And so you think about all these people, like I said, they were going through stuff, but they were able to accomplish this because they just pushed through. I was just seeing on TikTok the other day when I was like researching this, but it said that successful people are the ones that do what successful people don't. Are they the ones that keep going through it and they don't stop? So, yeah, and then even though, like I said too, y'all know I'm Christian and stuff, so just because something doesn't go your way, it doesn't mean anything. It could always mean that the time is right or the time is not right. Maybe that's not the right time. But you can never just to give up. Like that is part of the journey. I always say with a lot of these videos that like just because your journey is not like someone else's doesn't mean you should stop or that you should give up. You know what I mean? Because everybody, I always see these famous people, they'll do their podcasts, people will ask them questions about how this was or how that was. And in all of their podcasts, they push through a trial. You know what I mean? Some people don't have the best background. Some people don't come from the best families. Some people didn't have the best setup, but they were still able to push through it. And so to leave you off with this today, you just got to keep going. And yeah, no matter what happens, you got to push through it. You got to make it because it's your journey and it's no one else's. And that was the first thing that I want to put for number one. And so for the second thing that I want to talk about is you just have to shift and change your mindset. And for my example, I would use school. And so I would always sit there and say that like, oh, I was dumb or I was stupid because I would fail a quiz, I would fail an exam. But it's like you have to, like I said, shift your focus and always try to look back at, okay, instead of this failure or instead of this rejection, what else can I do to move past this? Or, sometimes just because you did bad on something, it's not really a reflection of you. Maybe it was just a reflection of how you did it. Like I look back, especially now since I just took my finals and I was able to pass my finals, it kind of showed me that previously I was just a bad studier. I was a bad test taker. Like I had to literally tell myself on one of my tests, I literally made an 83 on. It was like the first 8 or 10 questions I didn't know I was doing good. And I remember literally sitting there and being like, oh, I ain't gonna do good. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna fail. Like, don't give up. Like stuff like that. It's like if I already have a failing mindset, what do you think you're gonna do? You're gonna fail. You know what I mean? And I remember literally in the testing area, I literally told myself to calm down and breathe. And then I was like, okay, once again, maybe just because I didn't know those questions doesn't mean I don't know the whole test. You know what I mean? And look at that. I took my time, read carefully, 83. Even then, when I look back at my previous years, because I'm a junior, I realized freshman and sophomore year, I wasn't studying. I sat there and knowing I have ADHD and I fall asleep, my attention span is literally a millisecond. I used to spend days studying for like 10 hours. Then it was like I wasn't studying nothing because I'm studying for the 1 or 2 or 3 hours straight. I'm falling asleep. I'm dozing off, getting on my phone. I ain't retaining no information. I ain't trying to do no active recall, no passive recall, no flat, just nothing. I'm just trying to read. That ain't doing nothing compared to this year where I sat there and I made flashcards on Quizlet. I did the Pomodoro method. Instead of being on my phone and getting distracted, I made sure to like put some music on, some jazz music on. I would go to the JC and study. Sometimes I would stand up studying, like just trying to do some different methods and techniques. And then look at my grades now. I'm passing. I haven't retaken no classes. I haven't failed no finals. But just look at the change. Even another thing that I put on here was like track. I used to be not the best runner and all that stuff, but I just kept on practicing. I would have practice Monday through Friday, and on the weekend, I would ask the people to go run. Try to build some endurance. I would do some starts, try to get my starts better, and then I eventually got my first medal. But it's like if you keep on telling yourself that you're gonna fail, you're just gonna fail. Like I still have to do a whole nother book talk, but on a lot of the books I have read, that's really what it is. If you think you're ugly and you're not the most attractive, you're not this, you won't be that person. You know what I mean? It's like you can't be a person if you don't think you can be that person. Everything revolves in your mindset. Wherever you believe is who you will become. And yeah, you just have to shift your mindset. You have to be focused. And like I said, wherever you tell yourself is what is going to come true. So it's all in the mind. If you don't think you can do it up here, you won't do it out here. And that was just my point for number 2. And so for number 3, I guess it's gonna bounce off of number 1, but it said that rejection is universal, and that it happens to everyone. You know what I mean? I've not really been into relationships, so I feel like I can't give too much on the rejection part. But even in a relationship, there's just sometimes where you not might find the right person at that right time. There's sometimes where you might find that right person, but just because that one relationship doesn't work out doesn't necessarily mean that you'll never find love. I feel like I always see that, especially on TikTok. Like a lot of people think that love is dead, and it's not necessarily like all people aren't bad, or they'll be like all men are bad or all women are bad. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be seeing that like some women will say that all the guys are bad, and it's like, no, it's just you might have had that one bad experience, but that doesn't mean everybody's bad. Guys, I feel like guys vocalize it a lot more than women do. But a lot of guys, they would have had that one girl cheat or that one girl that didn't trust him. And then now they just hate all women. You know what I mean? So it's like all relationships aren't going to be perfect, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm always going to go back to God. God is going to put whoever he needs to put in your life for that season, for that purpose, for, like I said, for you. Even when it comes to jobs, you might get a job application. It's the same thing. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to work there. Maybe God has something more for you down the line, but we have to learn to be more patient. Just because, like I said, you have one mistake, you have one trip up, it don't mean you just, throw up everything in the air. You know what I mean? I think about, you college students, you guys might be watching this. I remember, I think there was one college application I got, rejected from, or I didn't hear back from, but look at me. I'm at GMU, I'm at my junior year. I've had fun, I've learned some experiences, and what would have happened if I would have been mad that that school rejected me, this school rejected me, you know what I mean? And I definitely want to really put emphasis on that, because I know a lot of people are starting to apply to colleges, or I mean, you might have did, because I think early application was like last month, like November, October. But even spring, registration's gonna come up. So it's just a lot of things. I had, even with friendships, there's some that even happened to me this year. I really had to learn that, like, just sometimes that friendship just won't be what it's gonna be, and it's okay. Like, That's another thing I saw on TikTok where people are like, just because you're not friends with someone means like, you don't have to hate them and stuff. And that's true. Like, you don't have to hate that person because y'all are not friends no more. It's just sometimes the friendship doesn't work out. It's the same thing with relationships. You can always wish the other person the best, but it doesn't have to be no hate towards them. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. Like I was just reading off those people, you realize if none of those people would have sat there and pushed through that trial, pushed through that tribulation, what would they be? Even going back to a Christianity standpoint, if you read the Bible, there are so many people, many of the main characters, Moses, Abraham, a lot of the main characters in the books of the Bible, they have stuff going on, but look at their significance, look at their importance, look at the role that they played. You know what I mean? What would the Bible look like if Moses gave up? What would, I guess, Christianity itself look like if Jesus gave up and God gave up? So all these people, like I said, you just have to truly believe in yourself that, and this is one thing I have to tell myself, that like it just doesn't happen to you. That is my biggest thing. Like failure, trip ups, messing up, mistakes, it doesn't just happen to you, it happens to everyone universally. And that's what I want to say for number 3. And so for number 4, this also would be piggybacking on the last one, but it is the fear of failure stops success. And just like I talked about those people, if they would have sat there and let that failure, if they would have succumbed to that failure, they would have never, had their accomplishments. You think about it, you can kind of put it in kind of everything. I mean, think about, Black African Americans, Black people, slavery, civil rights. We was denied all our rights. We was denied so much stuff. We was in slavery. And imagine if all of those people, all those civil rights activists, just everybody, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman. Think about if all those African American people succumbed to what they were going on at the time, to the prejudice, to the slavery, to the no civil rights, to the just no importance. Imagine if we would have did that. We literally wouldn't have a space today. We wouldn't be here today, but it's because our people fought. So like I said, that still is the fear of failure because they didn't have fear. You know what I mean? Yeah, especially then, it was scary. You know what I mean? It was stuff going on, killings and all that stuff, but it's like they didn't succumb to that fear and they still became successful. And then even to put in a time like this, I could talk about, my YouTube. I remember before I was scared to make my channel because I'm like, am I going to get views? Are people going to watch? But it's like, it doesn't really matter that, like you should just do it because you want to do it. There's some people who they want to go to college, but then, their family might not support them. But it's like, it doesn't really matter about your family. I mean, unless you might need the help to get there. But it's like, if you want to be a nurse, you want to be a lawyer, like, who could tell you can't do it? Once again, it's all in the mind. And so just don't, like I said, have that fear. You know what I mean? Go back to, I'll say like the Wright brothers. They were the people who first made the plane. There was people that were probably like, oh, you can never fly. A vehicle can't go in the air. Now we got Delta. Now we got Southwest. We got American. Like, you know what I mean? Just think about that. I mean, just think about people who thought we could never explore the ocean. Now we in the ocean. You know what I mean? Years ago, people probably thought we couldn't make it to space. Now we'd have made it to the moon. You know what I mean? We got rovers. We testing asteroids. You know what I mean? So you just have to think like you can never stop it. Like you never know. Like all it takes is tomorrow. All it takes is a mindset. I was just watching a video this morning about a girl saying it only takes a year. It only takes you to be consistent. It only takes you to write your plans down. Like, it just takes it just like this. You know what I mean? I don't know who can watch this video. I don't know. I always tell myself that to encourage me with YouTube is that like all it takes is that one viral video. All it takes is that blow up, that 100K, those subscribers. That's all it takes. All it takes is that one video. This video right here could be the million viewed video. We don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. The last video could have been 1 million views. The one after this, the 20 videos after this, 20 videos before this. So don't ever let the fear of failure stop you because once again, it's like you're already thinking in your mindset that as you're starting, you're going to fail. But how do you know you're going to fail? You know what I mean? This could change your life. You could be successful. Once again, it's like if you're already thinking the failure up here, the failure is going to come out here. So just don't think of failure. You know what I mean? Try it. You never know what could be. Instead of failure, it could be success. This first step could be your success. This first step could change your life and you never know. So you have to keep going and you cannot succumb to your doubt, your mind, comparison to others. Like you just have to keep going because you never know. This right here or whatever you're thinking about, wherever it has been on your mind, it could change your life. And that's why I want to talk about the fear of failure for number 4. And hopefully you understood these points. I feel like it's going by fast. But for number 5, I just want to say that, make sure you celebrate the small wins along the way. And I've talked about these in other videos, but like make sure you get like a journal. Like I have a content book here. Like for example, I have a content book here where it has like my subscribers, and so like of course I'm eventually gonna fill these ones out, but I have like my 100, 200 subscribers and like the dates and stuff. Just trying to track my progress because, like I said, you can always compare yourself to others and be thinking, like I said, you're not doing enough or that you're behind. But sometimes, God puts you where you're at right now. I always tell myself that like God would never, like it says in the Bible, God will never leave you nor what? Forsake you. So just because, like I said, you might not think you need to be at, you could that's what I'm saying. I don't know, I just got jumping up, but yeah, you might not think you're at where you're supposed to be, but God will, like I said, He'll never leave you, He'll never forsake you, and you might be where you're supposed to be. Like literally, like the girl that I was watching today, she literally said, right, when you're like out, like God, He can see the full picture. And of course, the full picture, it's going to look correct, right? But she was like, it's not going to look correct to us when we're in the single frame. You know what I mean? While we're in the picture, we're in that little bubble, we're in the frame, we're going to be like, what is this? What's going on? But it's like, God can see the full picture. We can only see this part. And so, like I said, you just have to keep going. You have to celebrate the small wins. That's why I say to like I said, I have my journal here where I just write down my subscriber dates. Always just try to track stuff. If it's working out, keep a thing in your notes that's saying like, oh, I'm able to lift this way, or say you do a stairmaster, I could go this longer. You know what I mean? Just trying to track your small wins when it comes to YouTube. Track your subscribers. Track like, okay, they like this video. Like it was 1 or 2 videos ago, I was trying a new editing style, and then I was able to look, through my retention, more people watched more throughout the video, more people liked it. Just trying to track those different things. Like I said, just trying new things. Even for like a business, you might do, okay, I sold this many sales this day, I sold that many sales. I think even I think on the Bible app, it literally tracks. Like, say if you want to start reading your word more, I think it literally tracks like when you get on there, or like it'll keep streaks. Even Quizlet does that. Quizlet keeps streaks. A lot of apps, they keep streaks. They'll be like, oh, you've constantly been getting on. So just paying attention to little things like that, just to make sure you track your progress, because it is so easy to compare yourself to others, or to be jealous, or to have envy. And we just have to learn to be patient. We have to learn to wait our turn. And yeah, like just continue to pray, continue to hope, and you just have to push through this. Life will always be hard. It will never be easy, but you got to do it. Like I said, I just came from my finals, and I had to literally take a break from YouTube for like 2 weeks. It wasn't that long, but still, I mean, it was hard. Mentally, it was draining. Like I have felt so good at home to wake up, do wherever I want. I don't got to go here. I don't got to go to class. I could just chill with my friends, make YouTube videos. But it's like, my friend will always tell me, I mean, hey, it's, this is the class. They said you got to pass this, you got to pass it. I mean, you're either going to walk that stage or you're not. Okay? Like, I mean, that's it. You're either going to get that degree or you're not. So you just got to kind of keep going. You got to keep pushing. And yeah, keep praying, celebrating the small wins, and doing what you can do. Another big lesson that this year taught me was you got to let the uncontrollables go. You can't control everything. Some stuff is out of your reach and is out of your control. You can only control the controllables. Focus on what you control on. And yeah, and that's all to talk about for number 5, celebrating small wins. And so yeah, that kind of concludes this video. I'm going to run down everything once again. Number 1 was failure is part of the growth. Number 2 is change your mindset. Number 3, rejection is universal. Number 4, the fear of failure stops success. And number 5, celebrating small wins. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I literally have a timer on my MacBook because I said, no, we can't. Even though I literally drop hour and 45-minute vlogs, the sit down can't be about 30 minutes. We need to wrap it up. Let's wrap these points up. I hate when I'm editing, and like there's times y'all where I've edited. Y'all never see it, but there's times I'm editing and 1 point is 8 minutes. No, see, that's 5 points. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. Just got to keep going, keep pushing. I mean, like I said, everything I said, I was really happy I chose this video. At first I was like, oh, will this make sense? But like I said, I always try to do videos about things that like I could be going through, and I definitely have been doing that with YouTube. You know, none of my, I said this in the last video, but I don't think nobody got to the end part. But you know, my shorts weren't going through, my subscribers were going down, my views were going down, and I feel like I really I kind of connected my self-worth to that. I kind of got that from the girls video. But I can't do that. You know, I got to keep pushing, got to keep uploading. And like I say, you never know. This could be the viral video. Tomorrow could be the viral video. The short I post in a week or two, that could be the viral short. So you just never know. Got to keep your hopes up, got to keep going, and just got to have a passion, you know. Don't, make it so much for money, views, even for the viral. Don't even try to chase the viral moment. Just do you, be authentically you, and whatever you do, if it's school, study, you know what I mean? You want to be that nurse, be that nurse. You want to be that lawyer, be that lawyer. Okay? You want to be that IT intern, be that IT intern. You know, you want to be the first college graduate at your family, be that first college graduate, okay? You know what I mean? So we got to keep on doing it. And yeah, 2025 is coming up. We're not going to go into 2025 saying the exact same things we were supposed to do in 2024. So it's going to fix these goals. Let's go on and look at failure or rejection a different way so it could be successful. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if there's any more topics you want me to discuss. I always try to create these topics with things that I go through, or maybe what college students might go through. And just let me know in the comments below. Continue to watch my vlogs, continue to watch my sit downs, and let me know if you like both. And yeah, don't want to talk ahead off no more because the timer's going up. So I'm going to wrap it up. And yeah, continue to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next video, Road to 500 subs.